Here's how I went from detailing the average interior in 2.5 hours solo to an hour 45 with 7 strategies no one's talking about. What's going on, guys? Luke here with Wilson Auto Detailing and autodetailer.com. The interior of this Chevy Traverse is the average interior representative of what I would call like 90% of interiors that you'll see as a detailer growing your business. The first of the hyper-specific strategies that I want to go over here has to do with detailing the interior door panels. Door panels are one of those areas that have a bunch of hard-to-reach areas, different materials, different plastics, chrome pieces, veneer pieces, different cracks and crevices like cup holders, and because of that, they represent an area that slow you down if you don't have a systematic approach for detailing them, because you're doing things one thing at a time and you're getting caught in all these rabbit holes. It's like I'm cleaning this area and then I'm going down here to the cup holder. Cleaning this area, then I'm having to wipe off the overspray of the window. Here's how I do it. I think of approaching the door panels as a funnel. I go from general to complex anytime there's a bunch of different areas. So I'll spray the entire thing down, agitate it with my Ninja scrub brush, my non-abrasive scrub pad, wipe the entire thing down, then I come in, quickly spray the cup holders, quickly spray the little area, any pockets. I come in with my steamer, blast all the corners, wipe up all the excess, use my steamer or air compressor to blow out the suds from, again, any of the seams, and I completely move on with my life. If all you do is separate this area into 2 parts, which is general, clean the face of it, move on, steam all the corners, move on, you will speed up because you don't get caught in a bunch of details that don't matter and a bunch of non-systematic approaches where you're just knee-jerk reacting to the next thing you see. General, wipe it up, move on, then get specific and move on with your life. The second area I want to point out is the radio buttons and the nav screen. This is an area where I would call like my approach being dry detailing. And what I mean by dry detailing is there are a lot of areas of an interior where detailers slow themselves down because they're over-introducing chemical and therefore over-introducing work for themselves. One of the ways that I like to think about this is if you're dealing with an area that doesn't get super dirty, you having an ego and cleaning it just like obsessively is actually not what's best for the customer, because in some sense that chemical can wear those materials down more than you would otherwise have to. So if there's an area I don't have to detail as much, I want to take advantage of that and actually serve my customer better by not detailing that area quite as much. This is one of those areas. I would never use chemical like an APC on the nav screen, first of all, but second of all, a quick dilution of optimum no rinse that's something like 30-to-1 or 50-to-1 in a 32-ounce spray bottle is most of the time a really effective way to clean the nav screen. And secondly, if you want to introduce some APC to the radio buttons, I spray it first on my applicator, and then I like to use my air compressor with my applicator or generally just with my microfiber towel and spray those things out as I'm wiping it down. Now, the third area I'm pointing out is actually one of the most popular areas in question that our members at autodetailer.com ask us about in our accelerator program, because it's an area that slows them down in their interior. And this is the console and the cup holder area. The first quick hack that I want to suggest is simply to actually spray that area very lightly with some APC chemical before you even start your detail. So when I come into the interior, if I'm starting with the driver's side door, I've already sprayed the cup holders. It's sitting there breaking down that dirt. By the time I work myself inside, it's actually much easier to clean. But let's pretend like I've done that already. I want to take the same door panel general to specific approach with my cup holders and generally break into 2 microfiber towels. Here's why. I spray it out and then I want to generally pull things out and mop things up, not getting a detailing brush or a steamer in there yet. I'm just cleaning up the bulk of it. That gets downgraded to my dirty towel. Then I spray a little bit more chemical in. I come in with my other microfiber towel and my steamer at the same time, and I can get specific. Again, if all you do is break these into 2 parts and pre-treat it before the interior starts, that area is going to instantly speed up. The fourth area is an area I've literally never heard anybody talk about, and I think it's only an area you would talk about if you've done a lot of interiors, but that is basically in between the passenger seat and the driver's seat, the sides of the console. If you have coffee spills inside of the cup holders, you'll also know that you have those same coffee spills down the side of that console, and in almost every single interior that's just an average case, you'll find these drip marks of like spilled Coke or whatever drink it was, again, just traced down the side of the console, and it can be very difficult to take your microfiber towel and kind of shove your hand in between there or get a tool in between there. Here's how I approach it. Take my APC, I spray the side, I let it sit for 1 second, I take my steamer, I use it all to rinse, and I literally push it down. I'll often stuff a microfiber towel all the way on the carpet on the floor there so that when all of that rinses down, it just gets absorbed by my microfiber and I'm done. It doesn't even require any agitation, and it's very easy to take that steamer head and put it in between those seats to get that area really, really quickly. The fifth area I want to point out is the back of the leather seats. If you're doing an interior with all leather seats, the back of the passenger side and the back of the driver's side is almost never dirty. The only exception is if you have a kid sitting in a booster seat who's kicking their feet against the driver's seat or passenger side seat. That might require a little bit more scrubbing, but this is an area where you're spending time that you just don't need to be spending. Oftentimes, you might not even need to run a microfiber towel over it. You might not need to touch it at all. At best, a little bit of APC like the P&S Interior Express Cleaner, wipe the backs down and move on with your life. Don't spend another second on this area. The sixth quick hack I want to revisit, other than just doing it with cup holders is in the entire detail having two different microfiber towels. I have one that's more damp and then I have one that's dry. Essentially what happens is if you have a microfiber towel that is completely dry, number one, it can stick as you're trying to wipe down certain areas and unfold, which is actually very annoying and wastes time. The second thing is a slightly damp microfiber towel does become a better cleaner if you are needing to use the towel to scrub, and a slightly damp towel actually absorbs chemical better. But the reason why both become damp over time is obviously because you're using them both to absorb chemical, but one is designed to be much wetter than the other for scrubbing purposes. And when you're dealing with nasty stuff, that becomes my more wet towel and it gets reserved for more nasty stuff. If I can break out two microfiber towels like that, I'm not having to constantly switch and get a new one and then get a new one and then get a new one. It also helps me actually in my laundry. I have a downgraded version and a higher class version of microfiber towels that I split out for interiors, and that way I'm not going back grabbing more or mixing them up and just soiling the whole thing. And the final seventh hack I want to share here is that I always have in an interior 3 different chemicals with me. Number one, I generally have P&S Interior Express Cleaner diluted somewhere around 5:1, maybe 10:1, but generally closer to 5:1. It's a gentle cleaner, it's really powerful, and it's going to get the job done. It might take a little bit longer, but if it's a risky situation that I'm in, I always use that one because it's not going to damage things at least most of the time. The second chemical is I always have another all-purpose cleaner that's either more concentrated or just generally more powerful. Something like Superior Products Green All, Firepower, Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner, something like this that is just more powerful if I want more cleaning power. The third thing is Optimum No Rinse diluted 1 capful per 32-ounce spray bottle. Optimum No Rinse can be incredible for interiors where you're cleaning up cleaning marks, cleaning the nav screen, wiping overspray off of plastics, making sure that things don't sit for too long without being pulled off. Optimum No Rinse has 1,000 different uses, and if I just have it on my detailing cart ready to go and ready to use whenever, it's something that saves me a lot of time. So those are the 3 chemicals I'm always keeping with me. Now, if you've made it this far, just a quick bonus tip. In this particular interior for this Chevy Traverse, I was able to combine my carpet shampooing chemical with my weather mat cleaning chemical, which you might not think can be combined because one's plastic and one's fabric, but the chemical Zap It from Superior Products, which is undiluted, can be used to clean all of the interior, which I did here because it's a great odor eliminator, so I used it for all of the interior carpets, but it is also a citrus-based, more or less all-purpose cleaner, which means it can be transported into something like a weather mat and clean very, very effectively and very quickly, a lot of times even better than a traditional all-purpose cleaner, and so I did. Yet another way I sped up this interior rather than reaching for 2 products, reaching for one and being able to skip step to step very quickly. That's it. If you guys are interested in a full list of products and tools that I suggest where I organize it all for you for free, check out the Pro Detailing Toolbox below in the YouTube description at wilsonautodetailing.com. And by the way, if you're a professional detailer who already has a business and you're stuck between like 40 and 90,000, go below to autodetailer.com, check out what we've got going there, maybe submit a form. Would love to talk to you and see if what we have is a good fit for you. And if this video is going to help you detail faster and you want to see my full step-by-step breakdown for my interior process, click the video on screen. Copy that process step by step, become faster, and let's start making more money. As always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing and autodetailer.com, remember, a great detailer is always learning, and I'll see you in the next video.